Assalamu alaikum. All praise to Allah. This is Kamran Saeed, and I'm from Pakistan. At the moment, based in Dubai. Right now, I'm sitting in a nice Lebanese restaurant and recording this video. This is my first video of my newly established channel, which I call Identity. Let me first tell you the purpose of my channel. The purpose of my channel is, first of all, I want to share what I have learned about our identity and our purpose on this earth, that why we are sent here, and our connection to Allah. I have had a long journey, uh, 18 years. It was at the age of 37 when I started hearing the call that perhaps things need to be changed and I need to learn what is the purpose of my life and our lives on earth. And now I established this channel because not only that I want to share with uh, people what I have learned, with the only objective that there might be someone, even one, anywhere in the world, a Muslim, non-Muslim, whoever, who can relate to what I'm saying and uh, perhaps try to understand the same path. The second purpose of this video is that of this channel is that I would like to connect with people who think like me, who have had a similar journey, to identify what is the purpose of us in life, how to lead this life in order to make it better, how to lead a happy and content life, and not just that, but also to be successful in the life after. So, after a lot of learning, I have come to, I can say, in a position where I believe that I can share now with the world, the people around me, of what I have learned, and perhaps anyone could benefit. So, this is my second purpose. I was born, Alhamdulillah, in a Muslim family, and of course, being in a Muslim family, uh, we grew up with certain concepts because of my parents, because of my culture, because of my environment, which were, alhamdulillah, quite clear, but true understanding of what life is and what how we have to lead it comes only after, I think, you initially like make your mistakes and do what you have been told or collected from your environment. But eventually, there is a time that comes in everybody's life, I believe. Not just Muslims, everybody who are given life on earth, every human being. I think, and it is stated in Quran that all human beings get the direction and the call to understand what's right and what's wrong, and then it's to ourselves whether we would like to accept and change our ways according to what we have seen, what we have learned, what our call says, or we continue with whatever we have been doing in the past. And this is where I believe that the concept of jaza and saza uh, in the hereafter comes, because everybody hears the call and it's up to you to relate to it to accept it and to follow it, or to ignore it. Totally up to you. Nobody in the world can make you do that. It has to be your own learning. It has to be your own path. It has to be your own journey that you learn and understand and accept. What I can do and what people who understand can do is just send the message across, and perhaps anybody can understand and follow that. So this is the purpose of my channel, and this is my first video. My first video, I want to make it about Quran, or I would say my understanding of how to use the Quran. We all, being Muslims, read Quran, but to understand and use Quran is a little different, which, as I have seen, many of us do not follow, do not do. So this is all about how to use the Quran in the best way for guidance. Um, Even before you start understanding and reading the Quran, the first thing that I learned is that you have to ask Allah Ta'ala for guidance. You have to ask Him. You don't need to. It's good if you pray, of course, 5 times a day, as we are told. But many times, uh, depending upon our background, our culture, we sometimes don't read. You're very lucky if your parents have done a good job in your upbringing and you do read prayers, namaz, 5 times a day. But even if you don't, you can start by talking to Allah Ta'ala all the time, whenever you think, during the day, during the night, and ask Him for guidance. Oh Allah, please give me guidance. Please show me how do I go about it. And God hears, God listens. He is the one who loves you, according to my belief, 70 times more than how much your mother loves you. So He listens. And then He sends His guidance. And then, when He sends His guidance, then in your own way, in your own time, you take it forward, and then you learn, and then you try to find solutions. And eventually, with the passage of time, it doesn't come in a jiffy. You have to understand, analyze, believe. And then only what happens is that you automatically start changing your ways for the betterment in what Allah Ta'ala has guided us. So this is the first step. Now, when uh, one day, if you decide that you want to read the Quran, of course, there is we as Muslims have read the Quran, and it's usually like read it in Arabic. But when I say you understand and use the Quran, I'm talking about reading it with meanings, whatever language you're comfortable with. When I heard the call, I started waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That was in 2007, and I started reading the Quran 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, just with meanings, of course, to understand what God is trying to say. And what I got was, of course, because Quran was sent 1400 years ago, not only for that time, but for all times to come, and for everyone in earth, wherever you are. So it has very broad meanings, and its message is related to what time you are in. So many things I knew, many things I learned, and This is the way to go about it. What I did. This is one way to go about it. The second way to go about it, you just don't need to perhaps start with reading from uh, para 1 to para 30, but you can start with reading surahs that you find interesting. For example, there are, as you know, that there are 114 surahs in Quran, so you can just start with like anyone that with its title, with its name, seems interesting to you. For example, there's a surah by the name of Namal, which means the ant. So maybe you can just pick it up and find out what is God talking about ant, Namal. Or maybe there's a surah called Nisa. So you that is the female, the woman. So maybe you can start reading Surah Nisa and find out what God has written in that particular surah, or maybe Surah Muhammad or whatever. So you start reading one by one, try to understand. It just gets absorbed in your heart. So this is one way of going about it. And take your time, be relaxed, be easy. Whenever you find it comfortable, there is no rush. Just ask Allah for guidance all the time and read it. Pick up the Quran whenever you can. Another use of Quran that I learned in my life, not only that I learned, but I experienced myself. And not only myself, but I have heard other people experience the same, which is a kind of a miracle of Quran, is that if you're looking for a solution to any problems in your life, of course we all have problems, and just pick up the Quran if you think with the with the belief that Quran is going to guide me. And if you have the problem in mind, and then you pick up Quran, and then you open one, open it somewhere, read it, if not once, 3 times. Then what happens is miracle that you find, and you start seeing the solution to your problems. This is what I have observed. This is what I've experienced. This is what happens. So you can do that. Try it out. I'm sure you can do that. So this is my first message in this channel: how to use the Quran, and I will be like making more videos in the future relating to or describing whatever I have learned got in the various kind of areas or different aspects of life. And uh, I would like to have your suggestions, your comments, whatever you think. That will be very helpful. Just connect to me. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to see my videos. You can send a comment, and perhaps you can connect with me, whatever. And I'll try to answer you, learn from you. And also, I would like to say that right now that it's not only me. Throughout this process, I've gathered a group of people from the West, from the East, who understand, and believe this, have the same beliefs, and we can all together try to find out solutions to what problems you have. Perhaps we don't know, or you might need to search it yourself. But do connect, please. That's what. Quran, I believe that provides you with answers according to what your life is right now. I've been to religious leaders and many people. They can relate to you theoretically what Quran says, but to connect it with the problems right now is different, and we can help you inspired with that. Thank you so much for seeing my video and listening to my video, and I'll come back again, inshallah, pretty soon. Assalamu alaikum.